Hello everybody, welcome to Awesome Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already and drop a like on this video. I'm trying to hit 100k subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, so your subscription would be much appreciated. Also drop a like, it only takes 1 second and makes a massive difference. Joining me real quick, who is currently chewing my pants. If you have not been following me on Twitter, I adopted a dog and I figured I'd show him in the video. Come here, Thor. Come here. Come on, man. Over here. Stop chewing my pants. That did not go well at all. Oh well. Anyways, that makes him a tax write-off now that he's appeared in the video. Okay, so today's video, I'm talking about the Mavericks versus Heat game, as well as the Bulls-Celtics game that went down yesterday. I'm going to watch the Hornets-Cavs game from yesterday and talk about that in tomorrow's video. Or not tomorrow's video, it's probably Thursday's video. As I mentioned before in the most recent, or maybe second most recent upload, I've not been able to have the schedule in terms of watching games that I want early on in the season. Getting this dog did not help that yesterday, so that's why I'm talking about yesterday's game and this one, and that's the only thing that's happening today. But I'll talk about the Heat-Mavs game first. That is the one that's the most present on the mind, and that game was a 15-point win by the Miami Heat, and I'll tell you, it felt like more than 15. The Heat kind of had control of this game from, like, what was it, the second or third quarter. They kind of the second quarter, they scored 46 points to Dallas's 32. And while Dallas's offense was not as much of a struggle as it has been, especially being that they're playing Miami's defense, which is the best in the league right now, pretty not awful game from them. However, the Heat clearly appeared to be the better team, which for a team like Dallas, which very often goes past its normal ceiling, not great that they kind of just got smacked in this game after the first quarter. I will say, though, and I saw a good amount of people say that in my Mavs video, which is the most recent one on my main channel, that I wasn't giving the system enough time. While I do believe there is some validity to, I don't think the Mavericks are going to remain the 27th best offense in the league. I don't think they're going to be a top offense because they're asking a lot of players who do not fit into the system that they're trying to run to do things that they're just not built to do. So for that reason, I am adamant that this Mavericks team will not finish as a top 10 offense. That's really the crux of my thing. Thor is walking away with his bone to go chew on it more on my pants to get slobber all over them. That's what I get for leaving them on the floor. Anyways, I will say Dallas's offense looked a lot better in this game because Luka had a good game. Not the pinnacle of efficiency, but still a good game overall. But most importantly, Jalen Brunson. 25 points, 7 assists. Don't knock the camera over, dude. I literally only have him here so that he doesn't, like, piss in my house without me seeing it, at least, so I can yell at him. Jalen Brunson, 10 for 13 from the field. Big three-pointer. Well, I guess it wasn't that big because it ended up mattering, but he had a three-pointer that felt like it mattered when the momentum was going Miami's way. Eventually, it still did, so I guess not that important. But a couple of pull-up shots, a spin fadeaway shot that was really clean, a couple of nice drives. Jalen Brunson is like one of those players that's like you wouldn't expect him to be that much of a threat on the drive, and then boom, suddenly he has a layup in like a split second. Yeah, not much playmaking from him in this one. If the camera is moving, it's because Thor is right against the camera. Outside of that, it was Tim Hardaway chucked the ball a lot, and it wasn't really going in. And then offensively, there was a decent stretch of Reggie Bullock. He hit 3 3-pointers in 25 minutes. But yeah, not too much to say. And Frank Ntilikina, he hit a pump fake, step in, mid-range shot, all net. That was pretty cool. All right, on Miami side of things, though, it was the defense that helped them in this game, I'd say. But honestly, the offense was just as good because this is the first game that we got from... Actually, I would say looking at this box score now that I'm thinking about it, it felt more like the defense, but the offense was also impeccable because We got 4 players putting up 20 points in this one. 22 from Kyle Lowry, 23 from Jimmy Butler, 22 from Bam Adebayo, 25 from Tyler Hero off of the bench. Kyle Lowry had probably his best game as a member of the Miami Heat, at the very least his best scoring game. If you were not aware, his scoring numbers have been not good to open the year. He's averaging like 9 points on terrible efficiency, shooting from 3, shooting from the field everywhere. This game, 7 for 10 from the field and 6 for 9 from 3. A couple of pull-up three-pointers, one of them that felt really big in the fourth quarter, even though once again, Miami kind of had control of it. So great game from him. Jimmy Butler, he got to the free throw line a ton. His actual shots was not dropping. He went 4 for 11, but Jimmy is one of the most skilled foul drawers in the league, and also one who probably has the least amount of BS in terms of how he draws fouls. So 15 for 17 from the line. And then Bam was particularly impressive off of the dribble in this game. A lot of really nice drives off of the dribble. Took the ball up the floor a few times. I will say one thing that stands out about Bam this season, though his rebounding and scoring has taken enough of a jump that you're happy to take the sacrifice, his playmaking is not what it was the last 2 years in Miami. His assist numbers are down to like 1.5 assists a game when he was at 5.5 for the last 2 years. So that's probably a big product of Kyle Lowry. It's probably a big product of his game being less perimeter oriented and more just being big. And it seems like there's been an emphasis on, even though he's doing the mid-range jump shots and stuff, there's also like, hey, you're fucking a big player, just be big. And there's like a lot more of him attacking the rim more relentlessly and aggressively than he ever has before. So I think it's just that the role in the offense with him just not doing less, high in the offense, like top of the key stuff with the ball in his hands. Just his role is not the same, and Kyle Lowry being there means his playmaking is less necessary. But it's also kind of sad to see that aspect of his game kind of fizzle out, because I do think Bam is one of the best passing big men in the league, and not utilizing it really whatsoever I think is a mistake. But anyways, Miami, very good team. I'm going to be making a video on them sometime this week or next. But I'm going to move on to the Bulls game from yesterday. I'm trying to not talk about the Bulls games too much, except this is one that definitely is worthy of conversation because it was statistically the best fourth quarter comeback in the shot clock era by the Chicago Bulls. No team has been up by 14 going into the fourth quarter and ended up losing by 14 in the shot clock era until the Boston Celtics did it yesterday, because the Celtics had control of the game the whole way through. And part of the reason for that was that Zach LaVine really did not have his offense going. He had his playmaking going really well. He had 7 assists in the first half. He finished the game with 7 assists because in the second half he was scoring the ball like crazy. If you look at the breakdown of the scoring, in the fourth quarter, the Bulls scored 39 points. The Celtics scored 11. Now, as much as I want to talk shit about the Celtics, my video coming out tomorrow on the main channel is about the Celtics, so I can't talk too much. I don't want to just give all of my talking points away, but yeah, fucking collapse on the Celtics part. There's a lot of drama in the media after the fact, which I'll talk about in that video. Al Horford, he deserves credit because he was like the main reason that the game was obviously going in Boston's favor, but it was the fact that Al Horford on top of Jalen and Jason were like getting their offense going. Dennis Schroeder a little bit there too, but it was Jason in the fourth quarter just taking so many bad shots and missing all of them. It was Jaylen Brown not being utilized in their offense whatsoever. Like, it didn't seem like he was anything more than a spot up shooter in the corner in that like second half basically. And then like really just offensively period, stagnant, ball watching. Well, that's a defensive thing, but like I guess it's a way to describe like the other players are just watching the guy who has the ball. It's a little different, but basically it's just like, hey, what are Jason and Jalen sometimes doing? We'll see. And that's essentially all their offense is. And that's why Marcus was making the complaint about the playmaking thing. I don't think it's on the players individually. I think it's on the system. Udoka has said some questionable stuff coaching-wise early, rotational stuff. The fact that Al Horford started with Robert Williams is questionable. Josh Richardson playing as much as he is questionable because Josh Richardson is just not good. I'm sorry. I'm tired of pretending that Josh Richardson is good. he is a good defender, and then offensively, sometimes he has good nights, and then he often has terrible nights, and overall, he's not efficient. He's a decent NBA player, but he's not good. And the fact that he gets 25 minutes a game when, meanwhile, what's his name? Aaron Nesmith gets like no minutes, when Aaron last year in his like second half of his rookie season was a really good 3-and-D player. I think it's ludicrous. I saw a couple of different possessions. There were a couple of different ones in the fourth quarter where Josh Richardson open 3-pointer. If it was Aaron Nesmith, different result, I think. But it wasn't. So thanks for that, Udoka. Outside of that, there's just questionable rotation stuff. Jabari Parker getting a lot of minutes. Grant Williams getting a lot of minutes. Jabari didn't play in this game. I don't know if he was hurt or not. But, yeah. On the Bull side of things, Vucevic, not very many opportunities scoring-wise. And what was weird is the Celtics were doubling him, like, kind of a lot. And, like, kind of in stupid times to be doubling him. And that resulted in him having 9 assists. There were, like, 3, maybe even 4 passes where they doubled him on the baseline, and then you just found the guy under the basket. There was one to Javonte Green. There was one to Ayo Dosunmu, who had a fantastic game. I think there might have been 2 to Ayo, who was just under the basket while Vooch just made a pass to him. And it was like, why would you overcommit to Vucevic? Like, he's not... Vucevic as his post threat on a big man is not that big of a threat. Like, most big men, you know, it's fine if it's a post up on a big man. It's not great. It's definitely a good enough source of offense, but it actually bothers me how much the Bulls use Vucevic in the post against other big men when it's like he's more effective as a pick and pop option than as just a low post scoring option when he's not got a mismatch of any kind. Outside of that, like I mentioned, Ayo was Ayo, whatever. Crazy game. I said in my most recent Bulls post recap that I wanted to see him get less minutes, but this game, 6 for 6 from the field, 2 3-pointers, one of which was really huge in shifting the momentum, and it was really him, Derek Jones Jr., and Alex Caruso, I believe, who were a big part of the tides of this game changing. And then it was really the fact that they were making the little things happen. There was one play that was Ayo with a lob to Derek Jones Jr. after they got a defensive stop. Derek continued to play good defense after he did in the most recent game versus the Jazz. And a lot of just right place, right time. The Celtics did not get a single defensive rebound in the fourth quarter. That's not a joke. Not a single one. Either the Bulls scored, or they got an offensive rebound, or they turned it over. That was the result at the end of every possession for the Bulls in the fourth quarter. A lot of that was hustle. A lot of it was effort stuff, but also, you know, sometimes the ball just bounces a certain way. My dad was complaining the other day about how announcers act like, you know, 50-50 balls are always a matter of hustle, and sometimes it just bounces the wrong way. But outside of that, I mean, you know, not DeMar DeRozan. I didn't talk about DeMar. I didn't even realize he had 37. Like, I knew he was having a good game, but holy fuck. He finished with 37 in this one, obviously. 3 for 4 from outside. And honestly, would have been 4 for 5 from outside had they counted a shot that was, like, just short of going off before the buzzer, like a split second, like they had to review it. Out of the corner, there's like 2 minutes left of the game. Open for 3 at the end of the shot clock. Doesn't quite get it off in time off of a Vucevic pass. But now that I think about it, also would have been Vucevic's triple-double, so that's kind of sad. Shot doesn't count. Next possession, same corner. DeMar DeRozan, open for 3. Swishes it. It's insane that DeMar went 3 for 4 from 3. How many times has he done that in his career period? And then he also made a 3 that just didn't count. But, like, the whole possession was defended as if it was a shot that would count. So, yeah. This is just a great comeback from the Bulls. It was really a lot the bench mob that kind of brought this in, where the defense, the hustle plays, the passes and stuff like that. It was just an all-around great performance from those guys. If you look at the plus-minus, it was really those guys, and then Zach LaVine. His scoring punch came alive in that fourth quarter. It started a little bit in the second half, but it was especially in the fourth quarter where I don't know how many points he scored in total in the fourth quarter. I would guess it was at least 15. Just a great game from him. I would ask Thor to come say bye, but he seems a little preoccupied with his bone. So I'm just going to go. All right. Bye.